Welcome back to another episode of ABA Compare and Contrast, the series where I take characters from ABA and compare them to characters from other games. Today's episode, the One Punch Man himself, Saitama. As per usual, make sure you like and subscribe. Before this video begins, I must put this out first. Saitama in ABA is a bit different compared to other characters, as instead of only being Saitama, he's 3 characters in one. Those characters are Mumen Rider, Genos, and Saitama. So, for this video, I'll compare those 3 characters to their counterparts. Anyways, let's begin by showcasing ABA Saitama. When you first load into a match, you start off as Mumen Rider, and whenever you use your 3 and 4, you swap to Genos, while 1 and 2 swap you back to Mumen Rider. Mumen Rider's first move is called Justice Crash. Mumen Rider rides his bike and crashes into anyone in his way. This move will knock down opponents hit by it and can guard break. The next move is called Justice Tackle. Mumen Rider grabs the person in front of him and then slams them to the ground. This move can combo extend, but is blockable. For Genos' first move, aka Saitama's third move, Incinerate. Genos charges up for a bit, as he then releases an AoE burst of fire. This move does not guard break, but will knock back anyone hit by it. For the final move in Saitama's kit, Machine Punches. Genos unleashes a barrage of punches, with the final hit knocking the opponent back. Now for the Awakening. Saitama will appear and push back the character you're playing, whether that's Genos or Mumen Rider. Saitama's first move, Consecutive Normal Punches. Saitama will appear to throw a single punch, but then it is revealed that it is a volley of weak punches. His next move is After Image. Saitama teleports behind his opponent. This move can act as both a combo starter and extender, while also having a cooldown of 5 seconds. Saitama's third move is titled Normal Punch. Saitama charges up a punch for a bit, as he then unleashes this punch, which will knock back opponents hit by it and guard break them if they're blocking. Keep in mind, this move will deal less damage the further you are from your opponent. And finally, Saitama's ultimate, Serious Punch. Saitama charges up a punch for 3 seconds. Once it's fully charged, he'll unleash it in front of him. Anyone caught in its range will take immense amount of damage. After using this move, Saitama will leave for the supermarket, which forces the player to lose a life and respawn. This move can be blocked, but will deal 120 damage, meaning someone like All Might can survive this move if they block it. With ABA now covered, let's move on to the next game. Well, first we'll start off with Mumen Rider, but for some reason they decided to give Mumen Rider a gun, and so his M1s he shoots a single bullet while having a maximum capacity of 30 bullets total. For his M2 he shoots something called a Helix Rocket. I don't really remember this in One Punch Man, but whatever. A direct hit from these rockets will deal 120 damage, while a non-direct hit will deal 40 to 80 splash damage. For Mumen Rider's first move, he just sprints. This move increases his movement speed by 50% and can last forever while having no cooldown. Although, while sprinting, Mumen Rider cannot use his moves. Personally, I think they should have just given him a bike. It would have made more sense to his character, but whatever. For Mumen Rider's second move, he places down this biotic field. This field will heal any team members inside of it for 35 healing per second and lasts for about 5 seconds with a cooldown of 15 seconds, meaning you can gain a total of 175 HP while inside of it. Finally, for Mumen Rider's ultimate, Tactical Visor. Mumen Rider puts on his visor, which allows him to lock onto opponents, while in his ultimate, his reload time is decreased slightly. Next up, we'll cover Genos. Sadly, unlike ABA, these are not 2 characters in one, so it's just a separate character entirely. Anyways, Genos has this passive which allows him to climb up walls and double jump. There technically is another passive, but I'll talk about that later. Genos seems to wield shurikens for some reason, so his M1s, he fires 3 shurikens, one after the other. I honestly think they should have given him like rockets. I'm pretty sure he does that in the anime, but it's not my game, so. For his M2s, he instead fired 3 shurikens in a burst. These shurikens will spread out as they travel, so this move isn't really recommended for long range. For Genos' first move, he dashes forward. Pretty simple. This move has an 8-second cooldown, but if Genos manages to kill someone, the cooldown for this move will refresh. You don't necessarily need to kill someone with a dash to refresh the cooldown, but, I mean, you can, so go for it. Genos' next move is called Deflect. Genos pulls out a blade and will deflect any incoming projectiles back to the opponent. The direction in which the reflected projectile goes depends on where Genos aims. Although Genos can't seem to reflect certain attacks like beams, this means Goku and Vegeta have a pretty good time fighting Genos. For Genos' ultimate, he pulls out a sword, while this music starts to play in the background. This changes Genos' M1s to a slash attack. This ultimate will also refresh Genos' dash cooldown. Once the ultimate is over, Genos will have full ammunition. Finally, we'll cover the One Punch Man himself, Doom Saitama. For Saitama's passive, he'll create extra health for himself with certain abilities. After 1 second, the extra health will begin to deplete for 3 healths per second. For Saitama's M1s, he fires a burst of pellets from his fist. These pellets seem to act like a shotgun. He can only fire 4 times before being forced to reload, but if you don't attack for a few seconds, Saitama will automatically reload for you. Kinda weird having Saitama shoot people, because his entire thing is that he punches, but okay. Saitama does have an M2, but I believe it's better if I talk about that later. For Saitama's first move, he leaps forward and then smashes the ground. This causes a shockwave in front of him that will damage anyone caught in it. Depending on where your camera is positioned, will determine what angle Saitama launches himself at. You can also cancel the move before you slam the ground by pressing it once again. Saitama's second move is titled Power Block. Just like ABA, Saitama blocks, but unlike ABA, the more damage Saitama blocks with this move, the more he charges up his M2. This move will reduce damage taken by 80%, and once Saitama has blocked a total of 100 damage or more, the cooldown for his M2 will be reset, and his M2 will be fully empowered. Saitama's M2 is titled Rocket Punch. Saitama will charge his punch for a bit before lunging forward and punching anyone in the way. If the opponents that got hit are hit into a wall, they will take extra damage and be stunned for a short amount of time. Depending on how long you charge the punch for, will affect the damage that you deal. Obviously, how much charge you have from your power block will also affect the damage as well. This move will also guard break and can knock opponents out of certain abilities, such as some ultimates. Finally, Saitama's ultimate, Meteor Strike. Saitama leaps into the sky. While in the sky, you can choose where he lands. Once you choose, or if time runs out, a circle will appear wherever you're about to land, and anyone inside of it will take damage once you land. There are 2 rings, a larger one and a smaller one in the middle. If someone is caught in the smaller ring, they'll take 300 damage. Anyone caught in the outer ring will take 15 to 100 damage depending on how far away they are from the middle. Once you land, Rocket Punch will be fully empowered. While in the sky, the cooldown rates for Saitama's abilities are accelerated by 100%. Holding M2 allows you to zoom out, which grants you the ability to land on elevated surfaces. If for some reason you choose to land off the map, you will be granted no time to make it back up and will die instantly. If for some reason you couldn't tell already, this is an April Fool's video, so I won't actually be comparing these characters. Although, if you did like this video, then make sure to like, subscribe, and give feedback in the comment section below. Maybe I'll bring back ABA Compare and Contrast, depending on how well this video does. Anyways, peace.